Hey, it's Matt, your Cannabis Infused host, and welcome to Infused Eats. Today we're making faux strawberry fig jam. This episode is sponsored by Panic Stopper. Panic Stopper is the natural and effective way to stop cannabis-induced anxiety. Panic Stopper is available on Amazon, and you can learn more at chillzips.com. This episode is part of our ongoing Summer of Freshness series, and today we're focusing on the fig. I have a huge fig tree in my backyard and it's full of figs, and in order to beat the birds to it, we're going to go ahead and harvest some of the early figs and make strawberry jam out of it. That's right, we're going to be making strawberry jam out of figs. Now, figs are an item that a lot of people really don't enjoy that much, but a lot of people like me do enjoy a lot. But this is a way to use figs in a way that everybody will enjoy. So to make it, you're going to need 2 to 4 grams of cannabis, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, a half a teaspoon of liquid lecithin, 1.5 cups of fresh figs, 1 cup of sugar, 1 3-ounce package of Jell-O, and a half teaspoon of fresh lime juice. Okay, and now we'll begin with the first step of decarboxylating and infusing the cannabis. I'm going to be using about 2 to 4 grams of actual cannabis flowers, and I'm also be using a couple of rosin pucks just to demonstrate that you can also use rosin chips. But I'm going to stick more to the cannabis this time, which I'm going to grind. I'm going to de-stem, and if I had any seeds, I'd take them out, and I'd put them in the ground and grow them. Haha. Okay, and then once you have your cannabis ground up in an oven-safe container, and if you're using rosin chips, you really don't use a grinder, you can just grind them up by hand. So you put those in there. I'm going to go ahead and decarb everything. And you'll notice this time I've upped my decarb time a little bit. I've been doing a little bit of testing, and I'm going to put it in at 250 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 minutes this time. And now we're going to move on to the next step. After your cannabis is decarboxylated or activated, turn that THC-A into THC so we'll get good and high off of it. We're going to put in our coconut oil, put in our lecithin, which is an emulsifier, and we're going to infuse that for 2 hours at 250 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, I'm going to stress using the emulsifier this time because jelly or jam is something that you will sit on the counter and or in the refrigerator and let it sit for a while. That emulsifier might help it keep more homogenized. Okay, and once your cannabis infused, you're going to strain it out just like always. And then we're going to move on to the next step. And you can actually overlap this, but we're going to prep our figs, which you can do by thoroughly washing. I like to add a little bit of baking soda in there and then chill them on some ice with the water, and they're going to be nice and fresh, just like they were in a commercial or something. And the baking soda, of course, is going to help clean them, and the ice is going to help get them nice and chilled and firm them up a little bit. And look how beautiful they look. It's hard to imagine that just a little while ago they were speckled in bird poop and hanging on a tree. Okay, so now we're going to move on and de-stem each of the figs and then quarter them. And the reason to quarter them is one is to make the skins smaller pieces so they don't clump up, and also to check for any ants or worms or anything like that, and make sure each one of the figs that you include in your batch is, up to prime qualities. There you go. And another thing is we're going to need a half a cup, but you want to make sure that's firmly packed into there. So you want to make sure you have plenty of figs in there to make sure we have the right moisture content. So that's 1.5 cups of firmly packed, quartered, cleaned figs. Okay, and once you have all your ingredients ready, we're going to move on to the final step of making our actual jam. Okay, we're going to start with a saucepan with a thick bottom would be best, over medium heat. And we're going to add in our figs, we're going to add in our lime juice, and we're going to add in our sugar. And you really don't need to mash them like this, and you could do that outside of the pan if you don't want to mash it in the pan. But just gently mash your figs until it all starts to come together. The moisture will start cooking out, and it comes to a boil. And then we're going to add in our infused coconut oil. And then after that's mixed together well, we're going to add in our pack of Jell-O. And you can use any flavor you want here. Strawberry is what we're using today. It tastes great. You could also use raspberry. It looks good. It looks appropriate with the actual seeds and stuff in there. You could probably use grape jelly, blueberry if you could find it, and you could use a non-Jell-O type gelatin if you don't want to use the gelatin type. So it's up to you which kind of Jell-O you use. But we're going to cook that down on medium-low heat for about 15 minutes. Don't overcook it, but you want to do it until it sticks on your spoon just a little bit when you lift it off there. And now the next and final step is going to be to jar it up and chill. So we're going to very carefully, once it's cooled just a little bit, but while it's still really hot too though, just let it cool a little bit enough where you can deal with it and handle it. We're going to put it into our jelly jar that's on the side. Make sure you wipe down the lid if you got any spillage, and put on our jelly jar real tight while it's hot. And you can let that cool off for a while, put it in the refrigerator, and it should seal itself off nice and tight. If you're going to crack it open right away anyway, like we are, it really doesn't matter about sealing it. So if you're storing it, you would want to seal that lid. And then there you can see, you put that on some hot buttered biscuits, and it is truly amazing. It doesn't separate it out like I was worried about. That emulsifier probably helps with that. But this is one of my favorite edibles of all times. This is amazing and really delicious, and a great way, like I said before, to use figs, which is something that some people are kind of iffy about, in a way that you never even believe it's figs, and it tastes amazing. So again, I would like to thank the guys at Panic Stopper for supporting us and for sponsoring this video. You can check them out at chillzips.com, and you can find their product on Amazon. I hope you enjoyed this recipe for faux fig strawberry jam. If you did, please hit the like button and make sure you subscribe to RuffHouse Studios for more cannabis culture videos made just for you. This is Matt for RuffHouse Studios. Thank you for watching.